breathe in. Remember we did that exercise? It really did help get
Good.
me focused for the day.
Good.
And so Shawna is a certified public speaking professional. And I know that, I mean, you had to actually study for that certificate.
Well, it's the only earned certificate for professional speakers, and it takes 250 presentations to 100 different clients.
Yeah.
It's over 5 years. It's the highest designation you can get.
Mm-hmm. And you do it so well. I mean, I've always
Thank you.
said that Shawna is such a really, really great speaker. She has the energy and she has the stories and she just puts everybody else to shame. She's also a master NLP practitioner. What is that?
So neuro-linguistic programming, which is about your neurology, how your brain fires, your language, how you speak, and then the programs that we're in. Wow. And so it's a continually evolving science. So I went and got my practitioner's and then my master's certificates in it so that I could do better with my coaching. You are a recipient.
Yeah, I wonder how many people realize how important that is. Now,
Huge.
The way that I know Shawna is from president of Women in the Pet Industry Network. We're going to talk about that. But she also owns a horse boarding facility and trail course in rural Western Oregon.
I do indeed.
I don't know. I mean, sometimes I see your videos where you're out in the barn.
Yeah.
I'm a little jealous, but not too much. I'm not sure. I don't mind going to the barn occasionally. You live in the barn. She spent the last 3 decades, and yes, I tell you, she started very young, working with leaders and creating content to help them think more strategically, communicate more effectively, and present more powerfully, which I think is a really, for me, that really speaks to what I want some of the women watching to learn, is how to present powerfully. And so Shawna helps leaders who are great and want to be magnificent more consistently, especially leaders with an entrepreneurial mindset. And you can reach Shawna at shawnaschuh.com. And Shawna, that's like a mouthful, but it's all so important. And it all goes to kind of the things that I think are so important for women starting out today. And that's how to speak well.
Yes.
And how to gain confidence. So welcome to Smart Conversations.
I'm so happy to see you, my friend.
Indeed. What led you to decide that you were going to do all of these magnificent things?
Well, if we're really looking at what we want to help the audience with, and all of us have greatness in us, all of us have talents that we're not even tapping. And I know when I was a young girl and I just wanted more than I had, even though I had a lot. I was raised very well, but I was raised in the country. And I remember thinking to myself, oh my God, I'm never going to live in the country. So I left and I went to the big city. I also went through finishing school like 3 times, but that's a different story. And then I ultimately ended up back at my roots because the Western lifestyle suits me. And in America, we're all part of that Western lifestyle in that people got on wagon trains, so I would say the first and most important trait that a woman, anybody needs to have is being able to take the step or the risk. And everything's a risk.
So
I'm scared.
I kind of like them to recognize that their talent is magic. And what do you do with that magic? I wrote a blog post about it today. But Shawna, what I hear and what I know of you is that you have such an energy and you have such a commitment to other women. And that's something that I would like to see more of. There is a lot more of it out there than there used to be. But
agreed.
Women should not feel that they can't reach out to other women.
Well, and whatever they should or shouldn't, right? We don't want to should on anybody. However, some women are not open to being reached out to. And so like anything, the minute we reach out, like Yvonne, you've been amazing because as people ask you all the way through with your career, you've helped women. And my goal is always to help women. However, I have women tell me, I took all my risk and I asked this, and she said, I don't have time for you, or they were rude. And then you think, I'm not going to ask again. And I guess that's the biggest thing, is keep asking. Because if we keep asking and we keep asking, if you don't keep asking, you'll never get anywhere. Matter of fact, one of the stories I tell is about when I wanted to be on television, and I'm redhead, white pasty skin, back, braces, glasses. I wasn't raised a good looking girl. And, we all work hard at looking good, right? And so, once I got all that fixed and went through finishing school, I ended up calling the agency, and I called every day, months and months and months and months. I called, and they said no and no and no. They didn't know me. They didn't have any buy-in to me, but I didn't have anywhere else to go. So I just kept calling until one day, I'll never forget it as long as I live. I called, and I'm like, it's Shawna again. And the gal stopped, and she said, can you just hold for a minute, Shawna? And I went, yeah, I'm all hopeful. And she covers the phone, and she says, isn't there anything we can send this girl on? And I was like, wow, and that's how I got my first television commercial. I was an extra, but it was the first time I'd ever actually been on camera. And then that led to the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. And if I had not called for months and months and months, and I think that if I could say anything to the women listening, it's we give up just a little too soon. And we give up a little too soon.
For sure. I can remember my early days of entrepreneurship was being a freelance writer. And I mean, rejection, but I started getting rejections with handwritten notes on them saying this was very good, not right for our publication, now send us something else, or some other little note. And I thought, oh my God, so they noticed, and they took the time to do that instead of just sending it back. And I started to get published, and then life goes.
Yvonne, right there is the tip, because we as women are busy, and so many people will go, Shawna, can you get a little bit of my time? And now I have a calendar system, and if somebody asks for some time, they pick it, and it's short. Those people who sent you a handwritten note were doing a gift to the world, because so many people don't. So my call to everyone listening right now is, let's be the women who send the notes. Let's be the people who actually say, isn't there something we can send this girl on? Let's be the person who encourages the ones that are just beginning.
Yes. And so within that now, you and I both, we are those people. And to the best of our ability, we do try very hard. People email me, and if they have used my name, Dear Yvonne,
right,
I go back to them. If it just says, hey, you, I do not write back to them. But that brings me to your word that you shared with me that I really want to go into a little deeper. And the word that you shared with me was Blissapline.
Yes,
so it's a combination of discipline and bliss.
It is.
Tell me why you chose that and how you came across it.
Well, I have for the last 12 years been running accountability call Monday through Friday. I do my clients that are coaching with me, as well as people who are past coaches. You have to be connected to me somehow to get in. And we are on the phone call for 15 minutes Monday through Friday. And we have themes for the week. We have themes for the year. And somebody had combined it. Either they had heard about it, and instead of discipline, which I don't know if I have discipline, but if I'm in bliss and I also want to do something on a consistent basis, what if it was a Blissapline? What if it was joyous to stretch? What if it was joyous to write every day? And so it's taking, what do you want to make a habit for, the discipline you need to do it daily or Monday through Friday, and put bliss around it so that it becomes this wonderful thing that's a Blissapline, instead of, I just have extreme discipline.
Interesting, because I remember a few years back when I was in a networking group in Colorado, and there was one young woman there who was had a coaching program, and one of the things was to discipline yourself, to
Right.
look at your day and say, okay, I'm going to write out everything I do on Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday. And I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it because I'm too, I operate in chaos too often, but it's an organized chaos. Now, I thought it was a good idea. And I think if we could put bliss with it the way you have, Blissapline, I could have said, okay, yes, now I can create a schedule that if I have to change it, I'm not going to now fall down and say, oh my God, I failed today because I didn't do 3 things that were on the list. Does that make sense at all?
It does. And also, there's 2 things. Creatives, writers, content creators, which both of us are, have to work within perimeters, and we need the creative juice thing. And so I am disciplined with many things in my schedule, and animals help you because you're not feeding them and they're like, you know what I mean? They're like hopping underneath you. They're like, oh, it's me now. And so that helps pull me away. However, I have structured my schedule in the Blissapline of it to be pretty structured or disciplined with the bliss around endings and beginnings. If I get it in, it's better to meditate for 5 minutes than to miss 30 minutes a whole bunch of days in a row. So there's where it shifts, and where you with chaos may work, or any of us, is to be able to say, how do we take everything that people tell us to do and create something that's uniquely, wonderfully us?
Uniquely, wonderfully us. I love it. I have to write that part down because, I think, Shawna, when we work together, one of the things that I learned from you is the fact that I could control kind of my life. And it didn't have to be rigid is where I'm going with that.
Right.
I didn't know Blissapline yet, but I think that's kind of what I learned a little bit of with you. So we would talk about, what happened this past week, because we would talk once a week. And now that I'm in, oh my gosh, so we moved from Colorado to Binghamton, and we've got the wonderful kids who come 3 days a week. And Tom has got a beautiful book that he just wrote that I have to tell you about later. But I personally, I have marbles in my mouth. I am still going back to the things that you taught me, because they taught me how to arrange my life. And I haven't really gotten there yet because of the new house and the new everything around it. But I feel good.
Good.
I feel productive, which is one of the words that if people ask me, what's your word this year? It's productive. I am absolutely productive, and I don't have to do the 9 to 5 that everybody else does. I don't have to, I don't have to do anything the way anybody else does, right? I mean, I learned so much from you, Shawna, because not just what you taught me, but the way I have watched you, and you're so vivacious and dynamic, and
you're sweet.
I think you bring that. And tell me a little bit about this energy that you have, and this beautiful way that you have this boarding facility, and these animals, and you still have this life, and you travel, and how do you do it?
Well, like you said, and like everyone on the call, it really and truly, it's everything that you choose. So I have had a belief for many years that we create our day, our life, our week, our year by the way we think. So it's said in a variety of different ways, but I really know I'm the creator of it. And so I have choices every minute, every day. I have used every tool you can possibly imagine. I'm a voracious learner. So last year, I think I made it through 70 books. I think it ended up. And the old days, I used to make it through that many probably and never tracked it. That's the other thing that I would suggest is, as you track, like, what's a good day for you? And so one of the things that we do, and I do for my clients, as you know, is, so we'll look and say, what was this day? So if your days are generally 4s or 5s because you're feeling overwhelmed or you don't get done what you want, what would a 10-day look like? And so if there's only 2 or 3 things, like in my life, from this moment until the last moment I breathe, until the last moment on earth, which I'm going to be in my hundreds and something, my goal will be to have fur under my fingers. Right? So I get a lot of energy from the animals in my life. Their spirits, their breath, their love, their attention. It's just part of who I am, and I get this clearly. So one thing in my life is that I'm going to be grateful, or I'm going to have love, some love every day. And I live alone. And although somebody laughed and they went, "No, you don't live alone." I have a lot of 4-legged creatures around here. So, but my joy is around a couple things. Number one, that's one. But I also believe that I'm in service to the world, or to my world. And so every time I work with a client, I get to gift them my knowledge and what I'm learning. And that's the other thing. Like, there's a day doesn't go by that I don't learn something. Mm-hmm. And so I'm excited by that. What can I learn next? What can I ask next? That is fascinating. You know, right now I'm kind of studying cellular biology because I find it so intriguing. So I love learning. So in my life, every day I'm learning something, I'm loving something or someone, and I'm serving. And so that brings me from the outside in, and then from the inside out, this immense energy flow and joy that I get to sprinkle on everybody.
I love it. I love it. Yes, I think that is a really kind of a necessary mindset. So like you said, your life is what you think.
Yeah, it is.
Or your life is what you think it could be. And so I have a sign here about watch your thoughts, they become words. Watch your words, they become actions. Everyone, I mean, we can push that up there, but the reality of it and what it means is exactly what you said. So if you can say to yourself, I am a success, because you are a success. If you can embrace the talent that was a gift that was given to you at birth and make magic with it, you're unstoppable. And if
Yvonne, you and I, because we go around, I agree. And if I looked at that and said that when I first began and I wasn't a success, matter of fact, I had a comeuppance one time when I was sitting up in my house. I have a log house, and somebody said, I was asked to write a chapter for a book on success. And I went, oh, I can't do that. And a girlfriend said, why couldn't you? And I go, I'm not successful. And she went, look around, because my definition of success was off. So I don't know if saying I am a success works even in my mind, because there's always more I could do, more I could have, you know. Right. So if I say something like I am smart enough, or I am happy enough, or I am moving forward. Like, my mantras are all about truth for me. So even though outside trappings and inside trappings, I feel hugely successful, I rarely say I am successful or I am a success. What I say is I'm creative. I am moving. I am action. I say things that are true for me in my in my bones, right?
Yeah.
And then I make it that more and more true. And that's the difference between a mantra or affirmation, where, like, I never say I am thin, because I could be thinner. However, I say I'm making good choices, right? And then when I say that, then I do make good choices. So there's an in-between is what I want to give.
Perfect. This is perfect, because that is also one of the things that I learned from you that I don't practice enough, is the way that you say the things that are truthful to you, exactly how you said. And so from the perspective of some of the women that I talk to who will say things like, I'm not smart enough. I'm not talented enough. I mean, everybody is doing this. Look, so-and-so does it so much better. And the answer is not that you have to be smart or talented. I mean, you are talented, but look at the uniqueness of what you bring. And
Right.
I like to help the women understand that every single thing they've done in their life has brought them to where they are. And so let's now use all of that and go forward, because you are smart enough and you are able to do this.
Yes.
If you need a little help, you know, I'm here, you're here, there are other women to help you. And so that's what I think we'll wind up with today, because
Yay.
so important for women, young women, women of a certain age, or women like myself who, having retired, have decided I'm not going to sit in the rocking chair and watch old sitcoms. I'm actually going to go out and do something. I want those women to understand that they can learn Blissapline the same way as
Yes, they can.
And it is a learning process.
Agreed.
Agreed. Well,
Yes.
Shawna, this has been awesome. I hope we do it again soon. And thank you so much for being on Smart Conversations.
Thank you, Yvonne. You're fabulous. Mwah, mwah. Bye.